Alright, called Pun Piso here. Be sure to watch part 1, because now this is part 2 and I continue with the story of the Christ-psychotics in the middle 1400s.
The escalating death toll brings out something even worse in people.
Look at that. Look at that. That's religion for you.
The extreme violence, punishment, complete with the suggestion of holy blood, creates a sensation as they travel through a countryside.
Lunatic, sadomasochistic, psychotic, Christian people. Deluded nuts. Yeah, like if this go to hell.
Focus the people's fear and rage on a tangible target.
One Christ-psychotic fighting another Christ-psychotic. Religious wars. That's what they start.
Believing their bloody sacrifice earns them God's grace, flagellants claim to perform Christ-like miracles.
Retarded Christians in the 21st century and the equivalent. Check him out.
You're deluded. You belong in a mental institution. You're schizophrenic.
Christ died for me. I don't serve a God where I have to die for him. He died for me, Larry, and it's so wonderful.
Dead children could be revived in their midst. There's also a famous story of a cow talking as a miracle.
Christians under drugs. Look at that. Look at that. Idiots. And they still do it today.
It seems as if miracles are being performed.
They still do it today. They're retarded.
100 people are dying a day.
Look at that. Christ-psychosis. No doctors, because they destroy all the intellect.
Knows the flagellants pose a dangerous threat to his authority.
Yeah, the idiot.
But his cardinals urge him not to do anything hasty.
The great retard here.
The movement at the peak of its popularity.
There's an interesting dynamic between the popular attitude towards the flagellants and the authorities' attitude towards the flagellants. On the other hand, seem to have supported the flagellants, largely because they associated their arrival with a...
Yeah, the Catholic Church controlled all Europe. The Christ-psychotics.
Ugliest turn.
Be experienced by ordinary people, ordinary Christians, as a totally transformative moral experience that uplifts them, that makes
morality. Look at that lunacy.
Energy to make their city or their town a better place. Whatever that takes. It may take.
There's no morality in Christianity. It's a lunacy. It's a psychosis.
Or even burning them.
Exactly. They did that. Yeah, this family wanted to be in a better place, and it's corrupted the children with Christianity in the process.
Raising 4 sons with husbands.
What does the government allow these people to corrupt these children?
She's in a constant state of turmoil.
They're Christ-psychotics.
Suffering depression and low self-esteem. She believes are the result of demonic possession.
Demons,
she claims the demons almost took her life.
You don't go see a neurologist. They're retard.
That has traveled through hundreds of miles, devastated by horror. A bloodbath of epic proportions.
Thanks to the Christian.
In times of crisis, Jews always seem to be the scapegoat.
Yeah, they killed Christ. They were, according to the retards, the myth. Look at that. Look at the idiot.
For the flagellants, it is an easy leap from criticizing the church to attacking the Jews.
Yeah, they did that. The crusades everywhere. That's right. Because they killed Christ.
There is a whole history of blood libels against the Jews, a whole history of persecution of the Jews by Christians during the Middle Ages.
Nazism and KKK and Christian anti-Jew
organization for American-born white Protestants only.
That's right.
It was no longer enough for the Klan to be anti-black. It now added Jews, Catholics, and immigrants to its list of enemies.
See that?
As a soldier, that's the way I look at myself.
Christian soldier.
Doing his duty to his Führer and his commander. I believe that Adolf Hitler prepared the philosophy of National Socialism, which is nothing.
Distinctive clothing which marks him.
So Jews are extremely stupid.
Taken to town.
Not to Hitler was Christian, not to go against the damn Christians. They're retarded. That's because of all the problems.
Were blamed on the Jews, who were said to have poisoned wells and rivers and corrupted the air.
Look at that idiot, corrupting the air.
After hours of torture, Agamemnon breaks down. He falsely confesses charges. Devanet reports that confessions like Agamemnon's fly up and down the Rhine.
Yeah,
Yeah, poor guys.
Accordingly, the whole world brutally rose against them.
Against the Jews. They were Christ killers.
In communities, many thousands were indiscriminately butchered, slaughtered, and burned alive by the Christians.
Yeah, exactly. It's incredible.
What's poisoning us is the Jew's presence itself. That the Jew's presence is a moral failing. It's our sin to tolerate them, and this is what's bringing this punishment.
As Christians, so it was fantastical to argue that Jews were poisoning people during the Black Death.
On St. Valentine's Day, 1349, the citizens of Strasbourg round up as many as 2,000 Jews and burn them at the stake.
People don't realize this.
The atrocity is repeated.
They should teach this to kids in schools in the United States, so they learn.
And Switzerland, not by some insidious
Christ-psychosis.
but by fear.
Not fear, Christ-psychosis, retard.
The lethal
it's all in the brain, moron.
Even faster than the Black Death. In the winter of 1349, Christians in Germany, France, and Switzerland turn on their Jewish neighbors in a horrific massacre intended to appease an angry God. But violence cannot stop the grim progress of the Black Death. Even the Pope retreats to his country estate, no longer trusting in his protective wall of fire.
Yeah, no science. That's what happens when you have no science.
One member of his court stays behind, the renowned physician Guy de Chaliac.
Look at that. Yeah.
But the aging surgeon's final investigation of the disease comes perilously close to home.
Yeah, exactly.
Guy de Chaliac continued to make the rounds during the plague in Avignon to the point where he himself came down with the illness.
Yeah, no, because the idiots have stagnated the intellect.
But he's willing to
if Christianity wouldn't happen, we would have been in the moon 1,000 years ago.
Heroic commitment to his
and this would have been there would be no this insanity around in Europe. People killing each other. All these lunatics, those religious lunatics fighting against each other.
His life in France, the flagellant movement in Germany starts to fall apart. Originally made up of pious zealots, the flagellants now attract outlaws. They greedily hoard loot stolen from the churches and openly consort with rowdy women.
Exactly. You have Protestants against Catholics,
from some of these
different sects all over the place, all these lunatics.
The flagellants were almost treated like rock stars.
Hey, after whipping themselves silly, it's good for some good sex, right? For some good sex,
sight
right?
of the blood, the stripped down bodies and the
right, just like here in the United States today.
School of frames and all of that.
You have
no doubt
hundreds of different Christian sects all over the place, and they're all lunatics.
You've just had so much emotion.
Idiots.
At that moment in time.
It is simply too much. The authorities finally move against them.
Yeah, Christian authorities.
1349. Pope Clement VI calls for the flagellants to
begin to be arrested, or they begin to be chased.
To all the kings and the armies. There's another Christian sect being destroyed. Yeah, a bunch of lunatics. Christ-psychosis in action. Like I've been saying ad nauseum, and we still have it today in the 21st century.
Now called masters of errors, or even seized and beheaded.
Yeah.
Wir befinden dich für schuldig. Du hast Unglauben verbreitet. Du bist zum Tode verurteilt. Soll Gott deine Seele schützen.
Ja, und ich kenne die Gesetze dieses Landes.
They'll behead anybody that don't agree with their own version of Christianity.
The flagellant movement broken, much of Europe remains violently hostile to the sadly diminished Jewish community, searching for a safe haven.
Yeah, that's the reason the Holocaust happened, because of Christian Hitler, with this branch of Christianity called Nazism.
Many German cities had no Jews by the end of the 14th century. They expelled them or killed them.
Yeah. Amazing that the traders and merchants of the Roman Empire, so-called Jews, have been considered now to be the Christ killers. It's like the Tooth Fairy killers, because of the mythologies of the Christ-psychosis, retarded folks. So, I hope you enjoy this. This is end of part 2, and continue with the exquisite Inquisition tortures. Pace Dioro.